Hi, everybody. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. And if you just happened upon this and found me by accident and you like what you hear, I hope you'll hit that button. I'm looking at this really interesting piece in the New Yorker. Look, Trump and MAGA and the white supremacists are trying to erase us. They're trying to erase our history. It looks like they started just getting rid of hundreds of thousands of pages of government documents about our history. And it says that the deletions began shortly after Donald Trump took office. CDC web pages on vaccines, HIV prevention, reproductive health, it all went missing, just gone. Findings on bird flu transmission vanished minutes after they appeared. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. Just like they don't want us to know, like when a tornado is coming or a tsunami or a big storm, so we can protect ourselves. They just got rid of all the government warning systems on that. The Census Bureau's public repository went offline, then returned without certain directories of geographic information. This is nuts. This is the one that gets me the most. The Department of Justice expunged the January 6th insurrection from its website, and whitehouse.gov took down an explainer page about the Constitution. So Trump and MAGA like to talk, oh, the rule of law, justice, and the Constitution, but they know they are violating all of them. And they don't want idiot MAGA to know. So they actually do not want their idiot, stupid followers, their anti-American, white supremacist, MAGA, trashy followers to know what the Constitution says. Because they want Fox News to be able to say anything and Trump to say anything and Newsmax to say anything and then go even further. And they know their idiot followers will believe it. They're erasing history. Hitler tried to do this. Let's see, on February 7th, Trump sacked the head of the National Archives and Records Administration, the agency that maintains official texts of the nation's laws and whose motto is the written word endures. They literally do not want an official record of what our laws are because Trump knows that he and his minions are criminals and are breaking the law, are in violation daily. So he does not want easy access. He wants Fox News and that White House, bimbo press secretary to stand up there and claim that the sky is green. And they don't want MAGA to be able to look it up and see that the sky is not green. They do not want MAGA to know what the law is because they are breaking the law daily. And Fox News and Newsmax and Trump and MAGA will lie about what the law says. And the idiots who watch them and are the fans of them will believe it. Just like when they say, if you're a criminal, you don't deserve, if you break the law, you don't deserve, you're not entitled to due process. And you have MAGA idiots repeating that line all over social media. Literally repeating that line. You don't know if someone is a criminal. The way we determine whether or not someone is a criminal is by due process. Every January 6th domestic terrorist who attacked our Capitol and tried to overturn an election and stop the certification got due process. So when that idiot, that evil person in the White House, Stephen Miller, when he stands up and he says that the criminals that they sent to El Salvador, the undocumented the illegals who were illegal, they got more due process than the January 6th people, which is a lie, an absolute lie. In fact, Merrick Garland started at the bottom with these people and was meticulous. Remember, we were told he's dotting the I's and crossing the T's and all that kind of garbage. And then in DC, they started at the bottom, I think, so they could stall and never have to get Trump. I think Merrick Garland was afraid of him or he was compromised. But not only did the January 6th people get due process, they got the best due process that this country, and every opportunity to appeal, have witnesses, everything. You got legal representation, okay? But they don't want your children and grandchildren and future generations to know about January 6th. So they've just removed it. It never happened. It never happened. So more than 110,000 government pages have gone dark in a purge that one scientist likened to a digital book burning. So I'm hoping that when we get rid of these evil people, the way that Germany or the world finally got rid of Hitler, that we will find a way to cobble together, put this all back together, that we don't need the government websites to tell us what's what and what's true, that we are the backup system, that historians and scholars and regular people and scientists will keep this record so that Trump can't just erase us and erase truth. He can get rid of it on government websites, but we have other ways of doing this. See, decades ago, that wasn't the case. So Donald Trump, you may be able to fool your idiot MAGA followers, these people who are still with you because they are stupid and they know what you are. They know that you're evil. They know that you're a liar. They know that you're a criminal. They know you're a rapist. They know you're a traitor. They know you're a con man. They know you're a horrible businessman and that you can't win in life unless someone gives it to you or you're lying, cheating, and stealing. They know this, but they think that they're in on the con. They like this about you because they think you're doing it for them. But that group is going to start shrinking when they find out that their 401ks are gone. They're losing their freedoms. They're losing their jobs. The price of eggs are still too high for them to afford them. When they start finding out that you're not there for them, they may start figuring out the rest. But for right now, yeah, these toothless, red hat wearing idiots think that you're fighting for them because you're going to get rid of the black and brown people and put people in their place and put women in their place. This will work for you for a while, Donald Trump, but only for a while. You will not win. You are destroying our country. You're destroying big parts of the planet. You're doing your level best, but we will survive you. We will rebuild. It will take decades. It may not happen in my lifetime. But you will not erase our history, our scientific advancements, our patriotism from what was. We will get rid of you and we will be back. You will not survive this. We will. Mark my words. We had a rough start at first. People couldn't really believe that an American president was doing what you were doing. We were like a deer caught in headlights. The Democratic leadership in Congress still is. But we knew the cavalry wasn't coming, that we were the cavalry. So the protests, when I did my little local protest, Donald Trump, there were people there, housewives, who had never been political before. Just regular small town people I went to high school with, who voted for you in 2016. I don't know what they did in 2020. Not only did they not vote for you this last time, they are out there protesting against you. And that group will grow. There is no way, Donald Trump, that you will gain additional supporters, but you know that. That's why you have to cheat. That's why you need Elon and Starlink and Putin. But we will defeat you, because here's what's going to happen. You're a disappointment to many of your followers. Not just a disappointment. Your policies are ruining their lives. Okay? Because when you carpet bomb this country, like you've been doing, your MAGA supporters, they're not exempt from that. There's not a way to put them in a special bubble over here. Everybody gets hit. Your poll numbers are in the toilet. Your poll numbers are in the toilet, Donald Trump. Right? And this means that those MAGA constituents of yours, all your constituents actually, are getting real loud with their Republican lawmakers, which means those Republican senators and House members, they're going to be more afraid of the voters who put them in office than they are of you, because you might not have the authority or the power, I should say, or the influence to make sure they lose their election. But you know what? They can make sure that, well, I was going to say that you lose yours, but because you're trying to run again. We've seen your 2028 hats. Trump 2028. Is that for Don Jr.? Who's that for? Because you are not going to run again. Because you know what? If you do, so can Barack Obama, and he will wipe the floor with you.